Howdy everyone and welcome back to the Game Pink. It is officially not E3 season, the only season that comes close to the joy of opening up gifts on Christmas morning. We have a very busy schedule ahead of for us throughout the next week, and PlayStation was the first to kick things off with an absolutely amazing 10 out of 10 state of play. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into our definitive recap of the whole show. The state of play opened up with an extended gameplay look at Insomniac's Wolverine, showing off more of that absolutely beautiful combat. The trailer gave us looks at more of the mutants in Insomniac's world, including Morph and Jean Grey herself. Jean will use her iconic sidekick powers to aid Wolverine in combat, and I assume we might even get the chance to play as her. My favorite part of the trailer was easily seeing Wolverine use his regeneration during combat while fighting an enemy. The end even gave us snippets of Sabretooth, Mystique, Sentinels, and so much more. Insomniac is definitely making something really special, and I cannot wait to jump in on September 1st, especially with these amazing Deluxe Edition suits. My god, they are absolutely perfect. That wasn't all the Marvel though, as we saw the newest characters for Marvel Token Fighting Souls with the Knights of Doom team. Joining Doctor Doom is Magneto with his magnetic powers, Green Goblin in what might be my favorite design for him in any piece of media ever, and finally Carnage, who looks absolutely crazy. I mean, just look at some of these moves. The game is still set for an August 6th release, and I'm so excited to play it. After many leaks, we finally saw the grand return of Rayman in Rayman Legends Retold, a 3D reimagining of one of my top 10 games of all time. In what looks like a playable Illumination movie, players will get the chance to play as Rayman, Globots, Barboa, and Grand Minimus once again, as they save the Glades of Dream. With an expanded soundtrack including 4 new musical stages, improved controls, and flying sections, it really feels like more than just a remake. Pre-orders also include Rayman Origins Deluxe Edition, which remasters the 2010 classic. Rayman makes his grand return on October 1st. I will be there on day one, Ubisoft. Please make more Rayman games. Following looks at Bancho the Chef, a prequel to Dave the Diver where you make sushi, and Kamuri, a stylish multiplayer action game where you take on yokai while aura farming the entire time. We got a new trailer for Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, showing off all the amazing places Lara will be traveling to, like Peru and Greece. It looks like puzzles and parkour will be a huge part of gameplay, something I really missed in the last couple of games. The game has been delayed to February 12, 2027, but I think I can wait just a bit longer to do backflips and shoot dinosaurs with the dual pistols. I will never get tired of doing that. We then got a huge run of trailers. The Lost Wild is a new ambitious dinosaur horror survival game that sees you focus on observation, instinct, and restraint and launches in 2027. Phantom Blade Zero showed off more of its gameplay and story, but Sony shared that we will get a nice deep dive into the game later this summer in its own state of play before its fall release this October. Then we saw looks at Dune Awakening's PS5 port with a new single player mode launching on September 22nd, Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered confirming its October 1st release, and Moon Studios' No Rest for the Wicked announcing its console release with a 1.0 launch in October. Then, Capcom finally confirmed that Onimusha Way of the Sword will be releasing on September 25th in an action-packed story trailer. But if you can't wait till October to get your hands on Capcom's next big game, they shared that a demo is live right now, letting you get a taste of that sweet Onimusha action. Silent Hill Townfall is set for release on September 24th. In its newest trailer, we finally got to see whose voice has been behind the static from earlier trailers. Zoe, a nurse from a clinic on St. Amelia, seems to be a guiding force for Simon, and as he tackles what Screenburn says are some of their best puzzles to date. Bandai Namco showed up to the state of play with a new look at Ace Combat 8, where players will play as Reps in a dramatic heroic adventure that seems to have a big focus on relationships. The game launches on October 2nd and will come with a port of the PS2 game Ace Combat: The Belkan War. After trailers for Stuntman Hollywood, the return of the classic franchise with actual IPs like Death Race, Knight Rider, and Back to the Future, we saw Ill, a super gruesome and terrifying action horror game that I actually cannot wait to play. Then, Remedy gave us an amazing story trailer for Control Resonant. Dylan will use his weapon, the Aberrant, to save Manhattan, as the story of the Fadens will shape the entire game. Great to see Jesse once again too, who Remedy says will take a backseat as Dylan takes the role of the player character this time around. We also got a release date as Control Resonant launches on September 24th. Following a short PS Plus segment, Firesprite revealed they are making a sequel to Until Dawn. Players will follow a group of ghost hunters who fake their content but now have to face real horror on the abandoned island they got shipped to by a big TV network. The core of the original remains, as every choice you make will shape the outcome of every character's fate to the very end. Can't wait to jump into that one next year. The final reveal of the State of Play was a huge one as Santa Monica Studios premiered 20 minutes of gameplay of God of War Leve. The next chapter in the God of War franchise will see players take on the role of Deborah Ann Wool's Faye, better known as the god Leve. This prequel to God of War 2018 will follow Faye's life in the Everywen, the afterlife of the gods following her death, where she needs to ensure the plan she put in place to protect Kratos and Atreus is kept safe. Leve's combat seems to keep those God of War bones, but speeds up the gameplay just a bit as she can take enemies into the sky using her new companion sword, or I should say ribbons, basically using them as her own Chains of Olympus. Her two companions, a Cosmic Cube voiced by Jack Quaid, yes, that Jack Quaid, and Magical Ribbons voiced by Perlina Lau. They will join her as they journey deep into the Everywen and face gods from across every mythology. With the remakes of the Greek trilogy coming in the future, I'm very excited to see how all the God of War lore converges, as I imagine there is a reason for remaking those games, and now visiting an afterlife with gods from absolutely every place of the world. We don't have a release window yet, but God of War Leve is set to launch exclusively on PlayStation 5 in the near future. Easily one of the best closers to a State of Play ever. Cannot wait to play what looks like another amazing game from the talent at Santa Monica Studios. And that wraps up our recap of this week's State of Play. Definitely an A+ in my book and a great start to all the week's festivities. We still have so much left though, with the main Summer Game Fest show and the Xbox Game Showcase all ahead of us, and that's not even counting all the amazing small indie shows taking place throughout the week. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss a single bit of news from this week. I've been your host, Brandon Alanis, and I'll see you all soon.